so what we started doing was that we began, and this is our model. If you look at our model, so the first thing which we do is that we organize people, because organizing is very important. As I was saying, they are poor, they are illiterate, they are informed. So if I work for you for 2 months, 3 months, if you say just go away, I won't pay. I can't do anything. I will beg and then I will go away. But if I know that you are organized, and if I chase you away, or if I try to chase you away, you can come back to me with your organization, then it becomes a deterrent for me to exploit you. So the first thing which we began doing was to organize people. So, and we organized them into various methods because they were at different places. So not only a union method, might be in the self-help group method, might be in the union method, might be in the company method, might be in cooperative method. But first thing for any worker with whom we began working was to organize them. So we organized them into, say, parents committee in the schools. We organized them into market committee in the market. So, and we also federated them so that they are a self-perpetuating organization. That's the first. And we initiated 4 programs for them. One was education, second was livelihood, third was health, fourth was financial inclusion. And for anything we had in mind was to create sustainable organization, so that whatever we do becomes sustainable. So the typical model which we followed was that we begin a program, and we begin a program, we make it successful, we enable revenue generation in the program, because if there is no revenue, the program will die. So so there has to be some revenue generation in the program, and by the revenue generation, the program becomes on its own. Then we hive it off from Nidan, and that organization becomes on self-sustaining organization, and then that organization has its own life. So if you look at it, so here is the children, then informal workers, then women, men, youth, and then women. And then we had different projects for each intervention. We had different projects. And so for education, we had school, preschool. We have strengthening school management committees. And then these are the models which we created, and then we upscaled it. So once a model is created, then we upscale it into different geographies. Now, working with the community is always difficult. And when we have a model which takes the community forward, which develops the leadership of the community, rather than developing leadership of just staff, but it develops the leadership of the community, then it is always, it takes little time. So we focused a lot on growth of leadership of the community. So from the communities, lot of leaders developed. And then we created this, these are all self-sustaining models all across. And as we go forward, we will have more examples for you to understand. But this is the model. So whenever we start some program, we keep in mind that the program is sustained and the program is also upscaled. And so that we are able to create successful models of organizing the informal workers. But the first one, the organizing, is very key to any of the program that we start. So, for example, I'll give you one example. So this program grew because we were working with the West speakers. The West speakers are from the lowest caste in India. They are considered as untouchables. I mean, even if they visit your house to collect the garbage, people used to clean their gates because they felt that the gates will get polluted. So that was the level. And the most educated person in the community was class 10. Just class 10 pass was the most educated person. And all the children were involved in West picking. So in the morning, they used to pick up a bag and go and collect for about, say, 3-4 hours on 100 rupees, say $1 $1. Out of that, give some money to the mother and then enjoy the day. So nobody was having education. So we started a program to educate, to improve the livelihood of the West speakers. But we realized that if the children are not developed, if the children do not leave that, then all our efforts will go in vain. So when we began talking to them, they said, no, we cannot go to government schools because government schools are in bad shape. When we go, there is discrimination. They make us sit at the back, and then after some time, the children drop out from the school. So if we want, then there has to be quality education. So we began a quality education program. We looked for some money, and we were successful in getting some money, and our West management program was generating some money, and we got the teachers trained through some best people in the country, and we developed a model whereby the same quality education which children in private schools were getting were also given to these children in the locality, in the neighborhood. And now, after gradually their interest of the kids grew in the education, and the parents also got involved in the education, and then gradually they left West speaking. And so this model was very successful. Then the the state government adopted this model of education. And now the state government is upscaling it and taking it to many other districts. And they're also funding us for our upscaling, and they're also upscaling the concept. So similarly, this is one of the largest program is considered to be a preschool program in India. And now in the preschool program, the kids between 3 to 6 years, they get free education, health checkup, and it's basically play method, and they also get nutrition. But the quality of these preschools were very bad, and we realized that if the children drop out later, it's because their preschooling was not good. So we took up one district, and we began this. They are called Anganwadi centers, preschool centers, and so we developed a model whereby with little money, the condition of the preschools changed dramatically. So we trained the teachers there, and we decorated the preschools with the teaching and learning material, which was prepared by the kids and the teachers themselves. So no purchase from market, but they themselves developed. So the preschools become very interesting. We involve the parents in management of the preschools, and the preschools change. So that is also become very successful, and it has been upscaled in many areas. So, and also lot of informal workers suffered because the child marriages and all. So we took up programs for child rights, and we formed Children Club, and then the Children Club became a discussion point among the children that they should not get married before 18 years of age, and child marriages then were halted. And similarly, this is a project we are still doing it on HIV with sex workers. So we have organized the sex workers, and we are educating them, and we are also planning sort of alternative livelihood models for these workers. These are just some examples that when people hear about our work, they invite us to different regions of India, and they ask us to help them to set up models. So anyway. So anyway, give me the laptop, I'll continue with that. So. not waste the time.
Salió el mensajito de reiniciar y como no lo hemos visto.
So, like the photograph which I was showing was Tata is a big industrial house in India and they have a big steel plant. So they want our model for their workers because though they pay their workers very well, the families suffer a lot. There are a lot of problems in the area. A lot of their kids of these workers get involved in antisocial activities. So we are taking our model in that region. One example which I want to share is that we wanted to demonstrate that because of our advocacy, lot of programmatic changes, programmatic changes have happened. But so there are schemes from government for social security, there are schemes from government on livelihood, there are schemes on education, there are schemes on health. But many a times, and most of the times, though there are schemes, the schemes do not reach the people. So we are creating a model in one district in India whereby how with 5% of expenditure, the schemes can reach to the right people through organizing and through awareness generation. So this is one model which we are trying to create, that if government only plans for schemes, it is not enough. Every scheme should also have provision for provision for people to access those schemes in a very simpler way. So how can the norms of the schemes be systematized, simplified, so that people have access? So we are doing it in one district, and it is becoming very popular because the uptake of public in that district about these three schemes is almost 100%. So everybody who is entitled to these schemes are getting access to these schemes, and so this is one of our recent initiatives. What to do?
It's coming, it's coming.
It's coming.